Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Geebz here at the Decomposer Lounge, where I peel back the layers and dissect your favorite suggested songs, and it doesn't always have to be metal and rock, especially if I'm getting suggestions from Patreon. This is an artist named Aphex Twin, so apparently he is an Irish-British musician. If you notice now, what I'm going to start doing on my reviews, reactions, and breakdowns is actually do a little bit of research before. I think I'm going to change it up a little bit so I have a better understanding of what I'm getting into. So apparently his DJ Nick was Aphex at a certain point, and he's very successful. And this particular music genre seems very unique. I've never heard of intelligent dance music. Experiment music, techno, ambient music, yes, but not intelligent dance music. I'm thinking that if we're listening to dance music, the intelligence goes out the window, so we could just go, hey, hey, I don't know. I'm not making fun of the genre. Don't start smoking me in the comments. So. Alrighty, so thank you very much for your suggestions as usual. So let's do this. This is Aphex Twin, and the name of the song is Meltphace 6, if I said that correct. So let's do this. All right. Okay, so now I get the fact that this is like intelligent dance music, and why I say that is because there is a lot going on. And I think if you're sitting down and doing what I'm doing, that's where the depth of all this layering kind of plays into my head, because I'm listening to it like this, but I'm assuming that if this was on a dance floor or in a hall or wherever, you know, the events are held, you know, there's a lot of lights and a lot of stuff going on, so the actual DJ experience, which I'm not familiar with, but I've just seen on TV, occasional news clips and stuff, of what it's all about is just to get the energy running. What I found really unique about this, and I'm finding unique about this, is that there's a lot of layers going on. Some people might say layers just for layers' sake, you know, and you can just constantly keep piling things up, but each one of them have this very unique, you know, melodic representation in the composition. And, you know, my whole life as a composer doing music for jingles and libraries and stuff, I've come across jobs where I've had to get similar to this style. But authentically, I never really dove into it to see exactly what and how it is that it works. One of the things that I recognize here that's happening is that they build, or he builds all the way through it. And at some point, I'm sure that there's going to be layers that will peel away, you know, and I don't know, I'm about to listen to it. But for some people, I understand how this could be a little bit like, God, there's a lot going on. How do I get my head wrapped around it? For myself, listening to it has, you know, this super intrinsic rhythmic value. Each one of these little sequences that are happening here are standing on its own rhythmically, you know, but still in time. Two of the things that I like about it is that there's this long, super long, padded single note melodic line that's going and carrying through. There's two of those that are, excuse me, doing an answer back. And so I really like that, and that's what I'm hooking into, because the rest of it is these synth arpeggiations that are happening that have more of a rhythmical, non-tonal value. if you know what I'm saying. You know, they're just more like sounds, like percussive digital sounds. EDM, I guess, is that what it's called? All right, let's go forward. Okay, so like I had said before, I had no idea where this was going. I was just taking a guess. And maybe 10, 15 seconds into my restart, that seemed to have started to happen where some of the elements were being peeled away. But what I really liked about what he did there is that he started messing around a little bit with reverbs and stuff, as if it was like kind of a soft kind of guide for you to feel what I felt as it evolved into more of a trippy ambient kind of vibe. And you know, the ambience to me are things that give you this theater of the mind feeling here also of space and glide and stuff. And a lot of times that's achieved with really notes or pads and stuff that have very long tails that you know hold out and sustain nicely. Sometimes you achieve that with reverbs and delays as well, and then you can combo that. I really liked how he drifted into this ambient passage that I just heard. And even though theoretically, and I very loosely use that term because I don't do theory style breakdowns here, obviously. But there is, you know, they're staying in what I would consider the pedaled drone note, which I believe is da, 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 that note. You're going to hear this tone. Even if you don't audibly hear the tone, you could feel that is that drone note that plays through it. So there aren't chord changes and stuff happening. What the uniqueness of this type of composition is you take all these elements and you bring them in and bring them out. I don't know what they call that style of drum. I'm sure it has to do with some style of subgenre. I know they trip hop, this, that, whatever. But I really like that feeling. I think I did something on Spongle. That's a band that this brings to mind that has that drum thing, that drums type of rhythm going on that makes it very... But then, before I just stopped, you saw me probably a couple times go, because I started feeling like he started moving up into a little bit more of a heavier, rounder bottom percussive part of his arrangement. You know, he starts adding a boom, boom, da, you know, something of that nature. And I like that. That for me is what brings this from being something that's just repetitive for a while, just for the sake of dancing and the sake of layering out stuff, that you really get creative in here and you're thinking, even if you're not playing acoustic instruments and stuff, and this is the jam here, you use the tools that you have as a composer and stuff, and that you like in the genre that you work to do these things. And that's why I can glow and glam on this, is because as a composer, I'm not relegated to just saying, oh, I'm only doing organic stuff, violins, concert, blah, blah, blah. No, man, whatever it takes. I do a lot of, I've done a lot of hybrid. I haven't done for a while, but I've done a lot of hybrid where I mix some of this with orchestral stuff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how I end up talking about me here. So anyhow, I love what's actually happening here. I really super dig it. I'm really into it. So let's go ahead and finish it up. I'll bring it back a little bit. Nice long jelly fade there. Something else I want to mention too is what I really like about what he did here is he used sparingly what I would call ultra dynamics. So in this particular, with my little experience of writing, you know, close to stuff like this, music, not stuff, forgive me, artwork, music, is that there's propensity for myself to overuse what I would call hyper dynamic, you know, work. What I mean by that is because tech can be so sterile, because it is, it's zeros and ones. That's how all this stuff is created, right? Because there's nothing organic about any of this, unless slightly lightly if you sample something that is organic and then you play it through. But nonetheless, it's all digital, right? But because of it and the compression and the new modules and all kinds of stuff, you could take something and make the dynamics, the hard left, hard right, panning left and right kind of thing, so incredibly moving and stuff like that, that it can be overwhelming. And what I really like that he did is that he kept everything here, and I don't know if this was purposeful or not, but we know hard left, hard right, right? Pan left, pan right, big fat dynamics here, right? He kind of kept everything to about here generally, and then every now and then he would write something or put something in that would really kind of give you that like, ooh, ah, kind of like, oh, hard left, hard right. Because for a second I thought, is this like a pseudo mono file? And I went, no, there's some ambience there and stuff. But what he did is he tastefully just went, and then all of a sudden you'd hear something pan, you know, from the left to the right and stuff like that. And I enjoyed that. That to me is part of the creativity and the artistry of composition, and like I said, I don't care what you're playing, is to be aware of utilizing those dynamics, when to put in enough of that, and also, like I said earlier, that ambient vibe that was made, you know, by a choice of different tones or the reverbs that he used in that one transition, you know. So I really am stoked about this. I really like this. You know, I have a much deeper palette, because remember, I think a lot of people think, you know, because I do the metal and all that, that's my complete jam. No, the truth be told is that I'm doing the metal because it's brand new to me, so I'm enjoying this. But generally, because of my whole career, I've had to dive into so many different styles and stuff that when I hear this, I can really authentically go, hey, I can picture it, I can hear, I can feel, I can see, you know, as well as be surprised by really unique choices in composition. All right, that was super fat and long deep dive here, but well worth it. You guys take care of yourself. Have a killer day. Aloha.